The Modern Warfare 2 beta was one of the most played Call of Duty betas of all time, which means it's likely that you've played it. So on a scale of absolute trash, which is probably like a 0, to best game ever, which is probably about a 10, I want to know what impression the beta has left on you. I hope to see dozens of comments when I sit down to review the comments on this video, and hopefully a lot of likes too. Don't forget to like the video. Thanks in advance. After letting my thoughts marinate for about a week, I'm leaning towards this beta being good overall. The game as a whole felt really good to play, from the new mechanics to the maps to the gunplay. I mean, there's a lot of elements that come together to make a COD game, and I'm not going to go through them all, so you can assume if I don't mention something by name, it left a good impression on me. There are 3 specific features that I really love that I want to shout out though. The first being the animations in this game. I'm not one to geek out over animations, but Infinity Ward did a fantastic job on animations and movement in this game. The way you and other soldiers around you in a match will move by shuffling side to side, leaning with their weapon up in the direction they're moving, it all looks so realistic and is something I've only seen from like AI in a Call of Duty campaign before. The new movement animations are so immersive and definitely a W in my book. There are several new items to play with in this game. Specifically, the drill charge is insanely fun. It unlocks a new element of gameplay by being able to attack through walls and vehicles, and it acts like a Semtex and a normal grenade on top of that as well. Really love that thing. I also really dig the new weapon platform system. It's essentially you unlock a base weapon like the M4 assault rifle, then you can level up that weapon to unlock different receivers to make different versions of that weapon. So you can turn the M4 into the M16. I think the FSS Hurricane was the SMG version, and there's a LMG, a marksman rifle version, and more. And I think some of the attachments are shared between all the different versions of the gun. I'm not 100% sure that's how it works, and if you're not 100% sure on how the system works, that is one of my nitpicks, is the whole system isn't explained very well. It took me a bit to catch on to how it works. I'd like to see that improve, but from what I've heard, I really like the direction that they're going with that system, alongside having regular individual weapons we've seen in Call of Duty in the past. That's about it for the good things. Again, if I didn't mention something specifically, you can assume I liked it. I want to move on to the 4 issues I've had with the beta. One being a major concern that needs to be addressed ideally by launch. And I'm going to save that major concern for last. My first issue with this beta is a graphical glitch. Whenever you entered the Create a Class menu or watched a kill cam in game, there's a strobe glitch that is annoying as hell. You've probably noticed it in the gameplay in this video. That needs to be fixed ASAP. That's that. The second issue I've had with the beta is the spawn system. Back in the day, it was easy to predict spawns. Usually will spawn on one side of the map or the other, unless you're pushing like all the way up into the enemy spawns, then they'll flip-flop and stay half and half. Turns out in the Modern Warfare 2 beta, they're using the team spawn system that we saw towards the start of Vanguard, I think Modern Warfare 2019 too. The way team spawns work is it will try to spawn you in an unoccupied part of the map. The initial spawns don't matter whatsoever. If it's unoccupied in the enemy's initial spawns, it will spawn you there. And then on top of that, it will try to spawn all your teammates around you as well. Not only does this make it hard to know where enemies are at any given time, you literally could eliminate an enemy, and then that enemy and their entire team will spawn around the corner behind you. It's really frustrating, and it's the reason why you see the influx in complaints about spawns in this game and in Vanguard. But what we learned in Vanguard is they can literally change that with a flip of a button, as long as the system is built in, and that is something I'd like to see done. The classic spawns make Call of Duty so much more enjoyable. My third issue is the UI in Modern Warfare 2. If you know, you know. The whole thing needs to be redone. The full screen message of the day mixed with the modes that take you to the multiplayer menu is confusing. Then from there, you're supposed to press back to select other game modes, but if you press back too many times, which you can do unintentionally because of menu lag, then it takes you back to the initial start screen. The attachments for weapons are displayed horizontally rather than vertically, and it's just hard to navigate through. It's just not it. The whole UI is just not it. I'd much rather use old assets than what was in the beta. Like literally, I would be happier if they copied the Modern Warfare 2019 interface and pasted it into Modern Warfare 2 for launch, and then they could take their new UI, redesign it, and then launch that later in the game. Please. That brings me to my last issue, my major concern in Modern Warfare 2, and that is that aggressive gameplay style is punishing. It's something that needs to be tweaked because historically Call of Duty has always been a fast-paced arcade shooter, but that's not the only way you can play the game there. You can camp, you can do all different sorts of play styles. In Modern Warfare 2 beta, there was a very good chance you were going to do poorly if you just simply tried to move around the map, not even going to the extent of taking SMG and just running around as much as possible. But it's hard to say how to fix this and what is the cause of this because there's several things that contribute to this issue. I mean, for one, the fast time to kill in this game makes it less forgiving if you're caught off guard, so you don't have a chance to fight back. The combo of dead silence being a field upgrade and the extra loud footsteps make it punishing to run around or move around the map. I shouldn't need to be crouch walking in multiplayer team deathmatch like I'm playing a battle royale game or search and destroy just so that people don't hear where I'm at on the map. That's not Call of Duty. That's like Rainbow Six Siege. The reloading overhaul that prevents reload canceling 9 times out of 10 contributes to the aggressive playstyle issue as well. I also want to mention the minimap red dots. Now, gunshots still show up on the compass, and I feel like a lot of people are overlooking this or simply don't even know that this is a thing. So you can still see where enemies are on the map in relation to you, but the lack of red dots and the ghost perk being timed so you get it later in a match does make it harder to be stealthy and move around the map, at least towards the beginning of a game. It's no surprise, considering all these examples I just shared, that the optimal playstyle in the MW2 beta was to have your gun up at all times and move cautiously around the map, if not straight up camp in one area. Other types of playstyles are just not that viable, and that's something that needs to be tweaked by launch. The easiest solution that I see in my head right now is to turn the base footstep volume down. If they want to stand by all their design choices, just turn the footstep volume down. You shouldn't be hearing someone aim down sight walking in the room over, or someone sprinting halfway across the map. I personally can adapt my playstyle to be more passive if need be, but there's no reason that multiple gameplay styles aren't viable in a Call of Duty game. And it'd be much more enjoyable. Fans would be much more happier if they can play it the way they want. So, Infinity Ward, please fix that. But overall, I liked the beta. I'm excited for launch that is less than 4 weeks from now. I sure hope they address the footsteps issues at the least, and then the other things that I mentioned within like the first 2 months of this game if they can't get it by launch. Although they should aim to have it by launch. I don't want to have another Vanguard situation. If you don't know my thoughts on Call of Duty Vanguard, might I suggest you check out my last video, which is displaying on the screen right now. Vanguard is one of the few Call of Duty games I've actually stopped playing entirely, and that video will catch you up to speed on why. Please don't forget to tap that like button, and I will catch you next time.